Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the global door number TH1100-Dblstal double door strike. This is a surface-mounted strike plate that's used in a pair of doors when you have a rim exit device on the active, and on the inactive device you have maybe flush bolts or maybe a surface vertical rod exit device, or surface bolts, or some other means of holding the inactive door closed. But when you use a rim device on a pair of doors, you need a surface strike like this to make the latch bolt work. Okay. Now, this item is this strike is specifically for the global door TH1100 series exit devices. They say surface vertical rod exit devices. If you were using that on an inactive door, that would probably work. But the truth of the matter is this is for a this goes on the inactive to use with a rim device. Now, it's important to know that this is for the TH1100 and devices that have the same orientation as the TH1100, meaning the deadlocking tab that will be in the edge of the head case is mated to this ramp, and this is the item that keeps that depressed so that you can't tamper with the latch bolt. It's non-handed in the sense that you can put it on a left-hand reverse door or a right-hand reverse door. It doesn't matter. Now, obviously, that's not symmetrical and it changes, but when you take the device and you turn them both over, it doesn't matter. So you can use it on either side. Now, if you had an exit device that had the tab on the opposite side, like a different manufacturer, sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. So just do keep in mind how this item is going to be portrayed. So this will be in the event of having a let's see here now, in the event of having left-hand reverse active door. Okay, so facing you, this is the right-hand reverse inactive door. Your active door is here and will swing towards me, and from my perspective it swings from right to left and I'm pulling it towards me. That's a left-hand reverse. That deadlocking tab has to be on the top of the latch bolt for this to work. If your unit is opposite of that, this strike won't work. And if you need help identifying a strike for your device, feel free to please reach out to us. It'd be no problem at all with that. Now, there is a link below this video to a document called template, I believe it's called. Yeah, it's called template, and it will be included with your hardware. You're going to have this face, and then there's this opposite side. This side has the holes shown out for the TH1100, namely this 3.5-inch dimension for the holes of the head case. The other template has holes that are, much larger than that. I am unsure which global device that is for. It might be for their ED-500, which is relatively new, in the sense that Global Door and Transatlantic were sister companies, and now they're all Imperial USA. And it's very likely that it has the centers for that as a template, but I don't believe this to be the right strike because that deadlocking tab is shown on the opposite end. So do a reality check before you drill any holes. Now, the template basically gives away the punchline on how to make sense of this. This is going to be your active door over here, and it's going to swing out, it's going to swing out this way. So you're basically going to take this strike plate and you're going to let it hang over the opening so that it sticks out into the opening but will catch the latch bolt. And you're going to install that after your reality check of making sure the dimensions are accurate based on the back set dimension indicated here. Edge of the door, well, pardon me, over here, forgive me. Edge of the door to that B hole is 1 5/16. That will make it work splendidly with your unit. you're going to see there that you have a device center line at 41 inch from the finished floor to the center line of the strike. If you've got an outside key control, namely a rim cylinder, you'll offset that by 1/4 inch. And I'm referring to all of this information here and then here. So the center line of the strike, the 41 inch, that is the manufacturer's guideline. That's very typical and ubiquitous. That dimension can play in accordance with how maybe a door you already have is drilled, that sort of circumstance. What I like to do is mark it out per the template, and then I like to make sure that it works before I drill any holes. Items like this, while it's very uncommon, the templates do change with time, or maybe the template has changed but the new template's not included with the hardware, that sort of situation, so do a reality check. Now, the disadvantage of having a rim device on a pair of doors is that you have this strike hanging out into the opening. And let's put a tape measure on it. They don't give you really any dimensions, but an overall width, about 2 7/8, an overall height, about 2 5/8. Okay, you can see that that's slightly offset there. The disadvantage is you've got a lot of the strike hanging into the opening. That's a disadvantage, I suppose. When you open that active door, you've got a bit of that, 1.5 inches of it or so, hanging out. The advantage is that you are able to use an inexpensive exit device on a pair of doors, where otherwise you would need a mortise device or you would need a surface vertical rod. So the upside really is getting a simple device, rim device, that is easy to install and very simple in its design, robust, will handle lots of use and abuse, and is incredibly economical. So that's the upside, where you don't need surface vertical rods. You don't want to have to deal with those or install them or buy them. The installation is obviously more involved. So the upside is, economic, simplicity. The downside is having that strike hang out, but they're incredibly common. You see them all the time. The back pair of doors of a small grocery store where you're going to take deliveries, you're going to throw the garbage out, you're going to see this all the time. That's the bottom line. Not the emergency exit for a primary emergency exit, but you'll see doors used in that sort of installation out to where the dumpsters are. Those doors would not be necessarily a primary means of egress. So it might be permissible to have a rim device on one door, or if it is a primary means of egress, you might have surface vertical rod, as we talked about earlier, on the inactive door. Now the downside of hitting that inactive door is that you're going to be using the strike to push that latch out and open, and because the face of the bolt is tapered, it's called a Pullman latch, you're probably not going to have too much trouble with that at all. If you think that you're going to hit the inactive door first when you're installing the hardware, you're going to want to see how, when you hit the inactive door with your surface vertical rod, how that's going to affect the latch bolt that's locking on here and hitting the door. It probably won't be an issue at all, but at a certain point that latch bolt's going to be hitting the inside of that strike, so you'll want to test that as well. Screws are included. There are self-drilling points on these screws. Okay. There is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all the Global Door products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, along with a link to the full line product catalog. If you have any questions on the Global Door TH1100 Dblstal double door strike or any other Global Door product, please feel free to reach out to us.